you know, if people do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. This is gonna be the Christmas present. So when this happened, I had to look up all of the videos that I made about passport bros and everything else. So let's let's do a let's do a let's do a history lesson, or let's see someone gloating about what they tried to do about 7 years ago. Trying to find it.
The P word. By highlighting all these different debaucherous activities, you give people like Super Sly 75 fuel for their arguments and make them right at the end of the day. But I understand. You don't give an F about what Super Sly 75 said.
Now, I don't know who this person is. As somebody who broke down Super Sly's bullshit, mind you, this the same dude who tried to tell you that you should be dating jail women. Because if you want submission, you'll get with a girl on probation. Or he told you to go get AIDS and date women with AIDS. Because they ain't gonna go nowhere and you're gonna be stuck. They gonna be stuck with you forever. And it's always getting medicine. The dude's take was shit.
Battery level is 70%.
He came online about 2017, 2018 and made a claim statement that most passport bros go overseas for young apples. And then he failed to show the proof. All right? So there was a big back and forth. That's what Passport Gate was about. Now, 7 years later, maybe 8 years later, maybe, he's proven to be right about one person who should have never been a passport bro. He should have never been a part of the movement. He should have never been traveling in the first place. But I'm going to give you similarities about what happened 5 years ago when they didn't call this person a passport bro, but they calling Floyd a passport bro.
But people should really think futuristic and long range about these different things and what ramifications and effect it could have in the future. But again, no one's thinking about this. People are just going to make guys like him right.
As soon as they entered the room, the American, identified as Floyd Wallace Jr., 29, was arrested in the Libertad neighborhood in downtown Sao Paulo the day we eat and game. He threw himself to the ground and was handcuffed.
Now, the funny thing about when I hear people talk about power, most of these guys don't have real power, right? He said, this is what happened when you concern yourself with too much lust instead of chasing power. But that's what a lot of these idiots do, chase power. And what is power is? What, money? That's about it? Because you don't have real political power. I mean, we're in a lot of, and under the Biden administration, what you call that power for y'all guys? Or you talking about power that you cry about racism? Because you guys never really had power in the first place. So instead of them trying to plant the fan and build their war chessboard and build connections, they're focused on getting their rocks off. What are you talking about? Building connections, building their war chest abroad. Why would anyone go overseas to build a war chest abroad for what? You think that they're gonna give their, you know how many men went overseas to get connections? They're not gonna share it with a bunch of niggas over here. Let's see right here. Now, waiting for the full video. Passport bros are finished. The birds of the feather don't wash off. More arrests are coming. Oh, so wait. So that means that if the shit that y'all was talking about years ago with the women, so there's no good women out here then. If they birds of a feather flock together, isn't that the thing, right? Is this y'all King Passport bros? Austin, Holland, and Rollo, the Don Dusty Criticals. It's nearly look like they sitting a squat after this dude. He's done. He gonna get locked up. You're not entertained. That's why I subscribed to Super Slot. I remember folks was telling, I was warning folks about to clean up their optics instead of I got XPE'd and ignored. Now D-Day has come. Here is when I dare enable us to defend this. He's trying to say he's innocent. This is a conspiracy against black men. Tito Jr. He messed up and found out. This is all the passport gorgers never. This is all the passport bros was never really about it. Nothing about advanced hustles to be overseas predator. The karma, unlike America, other countries actually give a damn about pulling away creeps. No, they don't. What the fuck is wrong with these people? These people are fucking stupid. His comment section is a bunch of fucking idiots. But like you said, they do that. They're trying to say that he's right? And like I said, I could destroy so many of these people in the comment section, but I don't really comment on people that I don't like on sections because it's useless to fight all these different people, and I don't have it in me to fight all these people. I really don't care. And my videos already was a counter to this 6 years ago, right? They never actually could counter this. None of them could. I don't know. He got the hair video game IT incel who got out for the first time. Now he has to beat guys in the jail, Smash Bros. Where is BZS? Now mind you, okay, here we go. That's just one person, Slides. He has a criminal record in the States. Passport bros want to travel around the world. Just being single and meet up with women around the world. I do not like that they said black women are the problem. No, we are the problem because the crab in the barrel mentality. I said this in 2019, but you can't all like that. Here we go. So,
the P word.
Self-identified victims were alerted to the authorities.
Now, I'm gonna show you what happens when you deal with black people. Okay? In the beginning of the manosphere, video games, anime, anything brand new, you got the founders, the people who come into the space, fix it up, and create rules and regulations, right? Second, the true believers, the true people, the people who believe in something new. It's a small group. Then you have the third level, the real supporters or fans of this. It's still small, but it's small, right? It builds up over years. Then you have the curious groups, because they want to see why all of these people are gravitating towards one thing. People wanted to see what was so good about anime. People wanted to see what was so good about this, what was so good about that, what about good, so good about this, that, right? Then it's the long group of people when something get popular and they just rush in. Level 5, when they just rush in and come in. Oh my God, this is new. This is new. Then number 6, the fakes, the opportunists. Then number 7, the invaders, the people who come in to take over it because the original people all left or they changed. And then you got level 8, the fake founders, the people who try to restart from what something originally was, and they try to create something. Floyd is a number 5 and a number 6. Floyd came in during when it got popular. Floyd came in with, well, he didn't come in when it got popular. He came in along with Austin Holloman. Now everybody knows Austin Holloman and how he was pom-pom in it. It was all about him. He even admit in one of his videos, which I can try to break down, that he sell consultations to try to tell people to get an online business. How's a 20-something-year-old is going to tell somebody how to get an online business who was e-begging online and turned on his own supporters? That's just... Floyd is a number 6, a fake opportunist. Now, we got to understand all of the opportunists are showing up out of nowhere. But let's do a rewind. 5 years ago, before there was a Floyd, there was a mural. Now let's see what happened back in the day, only 5 years ago, when Miro got arrested of the same claims that Floyd got caught up in. Now mind you, these titles, they don't have Passport Bro on the title. Now, remember when I told you guys about how these people they were paying people, they were paying all these channels and all these people to go against Passport Bros. They were paying the crash outs to destroy the structures of whatever movement. They do it to every movement. The FBI had agents in the Black Panther movement.
Battery level is 95%.
There's Jay Rollo. He quit out of nowhere. Jay Rollo quit YouTube. So let's find that one too. But let's
play points and score limited edition merch. Go reward yourself. Go play.
Don't keep all the good stuff to yourself.
I was just thinking about the first time that we did this drive.
You gotta take our video down. I don't give a take our down, and you're not allowed to come back to New York City, bro.
Y'all New York, man. Y'all some man. I'll kill y'all, man. What's up? Pull up. We out here. We go worldwide.
YouTube has been on fire since Miko was arrested by Colombia's CTI a law enforcement agency that partners with U.S. law enforcement when investigating, arresting, and deporting criminals. According to the CTI's website, Miko was located inside of a restaurant in Medellin, Colombia, and placed under the authority of migration.
Now, this happened 5 years ago. 5 years ago. And they didn't attach Passport Bro. Mind you, Super Sly didn't say it. I think Super Sly, he didn't say anything about this. Remember? The people in this comment section talking about he was this prophet, he was telling everybody and all this other stuff. Why did he keep that video up about Miko? Miko Worldwide. I remember this shit. Right? This was before all of the crash outs. They were paying the crash outs to destroy the Passport Bro name. None of these dudes was supposed to be traveling. None of these dudes was supposed to be traveling. These are the guys that everybody wanted to get away from. Right? The J. Rollos. The Floyds. Well, Floyd, he was a creeper. He did that. He did this type of shit in America. He just, there's no reward for guys like him in America. But he found a way to basically take over a movement that wasn't created for him. He was supposed to be the guy who travels without being attached to anything. Because it keeps a movement safe if you don't have people like that in your movement.
Sending deportation back to the U.S. The CTI stated, according to reports from U.S. authorities, Miko offered drugs to a 10-year-old, sexually abused a minor, and tied his feet and arms before putting him in a car's trunk. The attack occurred in the state of Georgia in 2018, and for this fact, there is a conviction and an arrest warrant. The article also states in 2012, Miko was convicted for sexual crimes against another child under the age of 10 in Georgia. To evade the U.S., Miko left the country as a YouTuber, where he traveled the world and shared videos of...
Now, that was the wrong thing, because he's out right now. Nobody put hands on him, nobody killed him, nobody did anything to him, right? They said he did this overseas, too. And, mind you, Miko Worldwide is out right now. He beat the case, that's what he said. And all of this seemed to be fake. No, the funny thing about a lot of these YouTubers and these people who do this, they never clarify. They never make it clear. They never actually make it clear, right? The Miko and Floyd case is totally different. Miko is not like Floyd. Miko built himself up with like the dangerous content and traveling, right? But Miko did have some type of other shit going on. He was messing with young chicks, teenagers in America. That's why he bounced out. A lot of people use the traveling space as a way to escape. Do you know how many criminals who left this country just to go to Cuba and hide in Cuba? Or people who go and leave and go to Mexico and you never see them again, and they're on the FBI's most wanted list. So the funny thing about this is that most of these YouTubers, a lot of them now are starting to realize that they can get sued. Like the whole stuff with Meg Thee Stallion. Was it Meg Thee Stallion? Yeah, Meg Thee Stallion. The Cardi B suing somebody. The H3H lawsuit that's going on. A lot of these YouTubers will start going to get sued more and more, right? If people want to pursue legal actions. Because a lot of these guys are full of fucking lies. And, it's annoying.
His charitable works. At the time, he had just over 30,000 subscribers. Because of his arrest in a foreign country, different international authorities began investigating whether his YouTube channel was a facade to contact children and adolescents for sexual purposes. Back in 2018, an Atlanta-based news outlet posted an article titled "Wanted: Meth Trafficking Assault Suspects Sought." Gwinnett County sheriffs were seeking 6 men, one of which was Michael Wolfgang Nickel, aka Miko Worldwide, who was wanted on charges of aggravated sodomy and aggravated assault. Over the next 2 years, Miko allegedly went on the run internationally.
Now, we got similarities of the Miko Worldwide and the Floyd situation. Now, when the Miko Worldwide shit happened, which you don't have on Super Sly's video, and a lot of guys on the Passport Bro, people did talk about this shit. They all talked about it, but a lot of people didn't like Miko. They didn't like him. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the things that why he was never attached, because he never attached himself to anybody in the Passport Bro movement. He always put himself in the other category. He had beef with all types of other people. Now, with Austin Holloman loud ass, and basically him promoting himself to be a Passport Bro, and then disavowing Passport Bro, but he's still a Passport Bro because, well, they're gonna keep having that tag on him. And like I said before, this whole thing was detailed in my videos. But listen.
His legal name is backwards that you put out. So you gotta be very, very careful. And this goes to every other YouTuber that's out there. You cannot go back. You can't tell people one thing, because when you're all over the place, people gonna say, well, this guy, he's not steady. It's okay. I want to let you know, Caribbean E is telling you he's a convicted sex offender from Georgia. Okay, so there's some stuff. There's some stuff that you can spin, and there's some stuff that you just send, and you gotta sit there and you gotta deal with it, because I don't know what I don't know what kind of impact this is gonna have on his channel, but I guarantee you it's gonna be a big drop off, because you are what you follow. You are.
Nope, it didn't work. I mean, even if he did all that, he beat the case, and he showed up in Dominican Republic like right after the shit happened, like a year or 2 after it happened. Miko Worldwide is still doing his thing, but he's in America mostly, but then he does go overseas. The shit didn't happen. The difference between him and Floyd is that Floyd is mentally unstable. He was always going to be a crash out, but somehow, just like how Jay Rollo was, a lot of these guys were paid crash outs to destroy Passport Bro movement, and it's all subjugated to them trying to get men to not do nothing, or to keep men here to just be making fun of them for the rest of their lives, or shame men so much that they're gonna sit here and settle. Mind you, they don't tell women to settle, they tell men to settle. Mind you, the Super Slides, all the people in that comment section, they're on other channels talking against the shit that's going on here, and then they go on Super Slide channel and act like something else, right? They flip-floppers. And I can expose that, but I don't need to care about those comment sections. A lot of them are flip-floppers, right?
And I said, you know what? The cat you're talking about right here. He make $300,000 a month because y'all empowering him. I have nothing wrong with his sexual preference. If he want to have sex with grown men.
Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome. He has an online website. He has the Instagram post. He has a whole bunch of shit that he's making money off of. Probably has a Patreon and all that kind of stuff. But what we're seeing now is he just got arrested. Now, I've heard a lot of crazy shit, YouTubers who allegedly got, somehow died or whatever the case is. This one got arrested. And I'm reading an article about it, and it's telling me that the case that he's arrested in Colombia is allegedly for raping a 10-year-old boy. And I'm thinking, oh my God. The article said he was in Spain doing a video there, whatever he was doing. Then he went to Medellin, Colombia. But that he also...
Now, it's different now. Miko wasn't a passport bro. He didn't hang out with people who claimed they was passport bros. The optics wasn't different. And Super Sly couldn't talk about it. Mind the way, when the passport bro shit that he was saying stuff, all those videos are down. If I go on Super Sly video, all those videos are down. The videos that I got saved, he was doing team ups with the old lady. Mind you, they're not talking about the passport sisters. Them losing overseas. And them paying for sex overseas. They're talking about passport bros. So passport bros are done. Right? While there's men still out there in Brazil. Black men still in Brazil. When the Austin Holloman shit went down, they were saying that passport bros was done back then. And there was guys in Brazil still over there. So we're going to see different perspectives. And the people that was hanging out with him before, right? So let's see it here. Austin Holloman's take on this situation. Jay Rollo, a paid crash out, decided that he quit YouTube. Right? Going to jail. Right? Because he's losing the money and nobody really want to see him like that, right? As you see, there's people still supporting the crash out, as they say, because he makes passport bros look stupid. This is what has been a thing for a very long time. As I said with this list, if you want to ruin a movement, ruin a space, you bring some of the most undisciplined people in that space and say they represent the space. They did that with the Black Manosphere. Let's show it. Let's show before I decided to break all this down, right?
Back up, and I know. Oh, sorry. I don't want to say too much, but just know I'm on that cheddar cheese. That's why I like that. I've been able to experience a lot of great things this year, because really it showed me, what is possible. And that was really the most.
How this motherfucking...
Now, back in the day, you had people like Bayou Bunny coming into space. You had Eva Lee's coming into space. They were all in Mr. Fantastic's channel back in the day. Now, mind you, Mr. Fantastic is doing the same shit he did, 5 years ago? Before he left the Navy, or before he graduated out of the Navy or whatever. Doing the same simp shit, right? The same thing he did with Jessica X, by allowing Jessica X to do what she did. We had a lot of fakes and opportunists that came into the space, right? And these were the women that came into space.
Hey, good show.
Taz was one of the people who came into space and destroyed the space, doxing people, Taz and Nyla. And that was the entry of letting certain people in. O'Shea let the wrong people in. Obsidian let the wrong people in. And Angry Man let the wrong people in. The three heads of the Black Manosphere let all the wrong people in. And literally destroyed it. Right? They destroyed the whole thing. And these are the people that they let in.
You keep interrupting me, so now I'm not dealing with you.
You could have provided an answer all this time. You've been repeating yourself.
I say,
Now, when Cynthia G was saying her rhetoric, you didn't see a lot of people say anything, right? You didn't see long videos about what she said and how she was saying it, and how she was calling people bullet bags and all this stuff. It was only when men stood up and started talking, right? You had women like this.
Okay, so what else you want to talk about?
The black woman spear, and the Mary dude who was, pro-black woman and all this other shit. That was in the space at one point. Oops.
Because I was being too nice.
Sons and Ray faked her own death and left, and then she took shots at Passport Bros, and this is what, 8 years ago. She's in the same position that she was in 8 years ago on her channel. What is it? Let me see. I don't think I got it, but she's living out of a hotel room. At one point, she was doing good because she was bashing black men and bashing Passport Bros, and then the views went down because everybody was doing the same shit. You got to see guys like this who muddy the space for their own agenda. They're not pro wrestling fans. They're just a bunch of activists who pretend that they want to be pro wrestling fans and they only care about black wrestlers, right? Now, this guy's channel, I'm going to show you, is all about racism in media and racism in pro wrestling, right? Now, you have to go back and see his failures. This is him back then. 4 years ago, he had no views. Nothing. No views at all. He failed at being a YouTuber because he didn't have the right niche. But when he start talking about and this is right here, he didn't like the black stuff. He had the grift. Netflix is a hate crime against black society. He seen that was his biggest views possible. Candace Owens talking about her. Then eventually, he started to be smarter and start talking about pro wrestling news. This is why I say you have to pay attention to this list right here to expose these people for who they really are. Now, let's hear some of the thoughts. Let's.
Passport Bros, a good majority of them are selling you guys a fake dream. And you guys can...
Now, mind you, this is the same dude who's trying to sell you a course. This is the guy trying to sell you a consultation. This is the guy who's trying to tell you that he knows everything to the whole world. But somehow, some way now, Passport Bros is lying to you when he was one of the Passport Bros. Mind you, this is a year ago. Alright? Remember, this is the same guy who told you that Kenya is the best place to go. This is the same guy who told you the Brazil was the best place to go, right? Every single country was the best place to go until it turned on him and he had to leave. By the way, this is the second country he had to leave.
From my channel, right? That's why a lot of them choose to, we're going to get into this later, but they choose to discredit me. Because I get online and I can show you in real time what it's like in these other countries. So people might sell Sao Paulo a certain type of way. But I get on live and there's a chick argue with me that I didn't even talk to, but they're all so feminine in certain cities. It's so perfect in Sao Paulo. None of these places are perfect. The way how they're sold to you.
Oh, like you try to sell people going to Africa. Mind you, this is a year later. Now here we go.
Join the channel where hey, I have 155,000 subscribers, but there's 250,000 people watching my live stream, right? That's obviously not realistic, and it's almost not possible. It's not impossible, but it's almost not possible. So at first, we were like, okay, somebody's trying to sabotage the channel. I reach out to YouTube. They don't give a damn. I reached out to Kick. They gave it to them, and they fixed it. YouTube doesn't really care for some reason. They just said the algorithm was fixing it. It worked a couple days, and then it went right back to it again. Now, then they moved over to Bobby's channel. Bobby's Kick is getting botted. Bobby's TikTok is getting botted. His YouTube is getting botted. Everything, 10,000 likes on the video, he got 2,000 views in the first hour. Like, how is that even possible? And then so we were like, okay, maybe somebody that doesn't like both of us doing it. My favorite YouTubers that are historian YouTubers, in 20 million, 50, that kind of stuff. For a guy that's known to drop.
Now, mind you, Austin Holloman, the piece of shit that he is, the mama's boy or whatever you want to call it, you know, his mom crashed out on him, 2 years ago or whatever, and they patched everything up. His biggest plan was to use Passport Bros and bring all these fucking degenerates and idiots to the movement. He single-handedly brung in the worst people. And thanks to him, I'm not going to fight this fight anymore because I already put the videos out. And I'm going to show the videos that I put out 6 years ago when it was Passport Gate. I'm not going to defend no damn pedo, and I'm not going to defend no fucking Floyd. That's dead. But what I can do is give perspective on the history of this shit and the people that people shouldn't listen to anymore. Because I've been said this about some of these guys. Most sides, the anti-passport bro side, and even some of the passport bros they're unlegit now. The way they move, the shit that they've been selling you. Now they have to keep their mouth shut. And I think it was a better idea to let these people think that you're losing so they never know you winning. Because if they know you winning, they will try everything in their mind to let you lose. I'm going to tell you this now. And this is a true statement, and you can keep this on. You can repeat this, you can have this on repeat. These people who make anti-passport videos, they want you dead. They want you to either marry somebody you don't like because that's what they want, and have a kid out of some shit because that's what they want. They want you as miserable as them. You're supposed to either die doing what you want to do, or die slowly doing what they want you to do. Okay? That's it. This is all they want. They're trying to shame you so much. They want you here in America to shame you so much that you will bow down to what they want you to bow down to. And you will just take one of these single moms, one of these overweight women, one of these nasty looking motherfuckers, and you would just say, oh, I'm so happy. They don't give a fuck what you like. They give a fuck what they like. Super Sly try to present you with women he want that he looked at online. The one thing these piece of shits never ask you is what you like. Right? They never take that perspective and look at other couples and other couples and other races of people. Because they can't do that. They can try to control you because they think they have some kind of ownership of you because you're both black. That's why they try to tell you what to do when it comes to your dick. They try to tell you what kind of power you're supposed to get and all this other shit. And then they contradict themselves in another video.
A video, and a couple of days later is at 200,000 views. Just overnight, it went down. And listen, my favorite YouTubers that are historian YouTubers, they're botting him too. Right? It's not really that hard to understand. So
for all the people that were commenting the life expert stuff that don't even have YouTube channels in the video that I recorded the other day about why you need to not even be in a travel space is because of this shit. So that is literally an issue that we don't even know how to solve right now. So does YouTube deny your funds? No, their algorithm will it'll fix the bots. It'll fix it, right? It'll fix the view count at some point. But it will still pay you for what you really earned on the video. It knows how to detect the bots, but it still interferes with the algorithm. Because now they could think that, oh, well, I don't know, like this guy's buying bots or something. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know what to say at this point. And no, the videos don't get demonetized. It's just an issue. I mean, I can't keep answering the same questions. So anyway, this is why it's important for somebody like myself to always funnel my audience to do webinars.
This is the thing. That was the whole point. And I told you when I did a video on him before. Shout out to JJ Starwin for requesting that video. I said on that video that he wanted to funnel you to what he thought you was going to be. Webinars and all this other shit. You're a 20-something-year-old kid who started traveling back in, 3 years ago? You don't know shit. Because when you was in America, you didn't have no barbershop business. You wasn't successful. The kind of shit that he sees now, the kind of money he sees now, he never saw ever being a barber. So what the fuck can he tell you? What, beg online and then get money from people and then turn on the people? And then pretend that he knows it all. And when he don't become successful, you can't get a refund. Now, there's a lot of fucking kids now, you know, I can call them kids that are 18, or should I say, 18, 19, who was listening to the Manosphere when they was like 15 years old, and they listened to some of these fucking dating coaches, go to the gym guys and all that, and then they said this shit didn't work. You know how many people selling courses? Even a video I saw that said basically don't trust anybody who sell a course or sell something, because they're not going to tell you anything that haven't been said. But
to buy products, to buy consultations, because yes, YouTube can be a damn good source of income, but you cannot keep all your eggs in one basket, right? So right now, my email list is at 3,400 people, which is a damn good start for an email list. That is a lot to work with right off the jump. But YouTube, you can't outdo YouTube. That's when people think of online videos, their mind goes straight to YouTube. So that being said, you still have to use YouTube, but it can always be yanked from you at any time. I'm not saying this is going to happen with this, but for some reason, if YouTube wanted to ban me, they could do it. No explanation needed. And then, yeah, you got to have it funneled. So, and I've told, I don't know if this has happened to those other YouTubers, but I've told you about the biggest black YouTuber. Are coons and clowns. Like, they do dumb shit on YouTube.
So now they're coons and clowns, but you were the same coon and clown. Mind you, this is the same dude who was trying to make Passport Bro everywhere. He was every single where. He was every single where. Every single channel he can go on to. Get your passport, guys. Get your passport, guys. I'm a passport bro. I'm a passport bro. So doesn't that make you a coon too? Right? Now he's Mr. Africa. Now everybody's a coon, right?
Great. Now I'm stuck to the counter with sticky honey.
So today we have some horrible. This is like just crazy altogether. I mean, I've heard of pedophilia before, so I'm not really. It's not nothing new. I mean, this stuff happens a lot more than you think. There's a lot more people than you think that are involved in this kind of stuff. And to go further into it, you guys have heard me say on my channel, especially with like this whole hyper masculine, a lot of dudes that follow that red pill.
Now, mind you, is this the same motherfuckers that was on red pill channels, right? So now he's gonna try to allude that people in the red pill space is somehow a bunch of pedos.
Super female traditional role thing. If you look at their, what do you call it? I'm sorry, I just woke up. I had to record this as soon as I woke up. Those dudes that have their criteria for the type of women they want. They want a woman that's a virgin, that's young enough to have all their 50, 60 kids that they make it seem like they want, and all these other very unrealistic expectations.
Now, mind you, this the same dude who said he was going overseas to get girls, well, going overseas to find a girlfriend or whatever. People made up shit to say he was married, he had a girlfriend or whatever. Dude can't stay single. I mean, my bad. Dude can't spawn himself into a relationship. He can't stay. That's telling when a girl don't want to stick to him. Even some of the guys overseas will find a girl and then they will stay in the country. This guy can't even stay in one country to get a relationship. But he's talking shit like this because one of his boys that he introduced to the traveling space, mind you, he was the one who flew Floyd out and introduced him. Dude didn't have no money, didn't have nothing, and he flew him out to Brazil to beg and used his subscribers, passport bros, when he was a quote-unquote passport bro, to fund Floyd. And then he became an obsessional crash out that basically paid him to make everybody look bad. And it worked.
That fit only somebody that's in high school or below. Like, if you really think about it, when I was in high school, at least in America, women were not virgins by the time they were 14, like on average. So if you're looking for a virgin in this day and age, she's gonna have to be really, really young. And that may just be a coping mechanism just to find an excuse to do shit like this, to fuck around with kids, right?
Oh, so now guys who want somebody young that's 19, 18 is now somehow they're doing this, to do this now. What the
and I'm going to play the video so you guys can see. I'm going to let my editor play the video of everything.
What is that?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Keep your hands on the floor.
Put your hands in the air. Surrender.
You're being arrested for child exploration by the police of here. Okay? That's it.
He's not doing any resisting, right? He's not doing no, hey, what's going on? What are y'all talking about? And usually even guilty pedophiles will say, hey, what's going on? What are y'all talking about? Okay, yeah. But then they also have this photo right here with what appears to be a GoPro camera, a DJI Pocket 3 and a Pocket 2, a laptop and 5 phones, and 2 toys, I guess, that he was going to give the kids to play with, right? And when you read the article that they wrote under their Instagram post, the police of Sao Paulo, I guess, or whoever it is, right? They literally said that he was using fake names and
when they would go, I don't know what app he was on or how he was meeting them, but whenever they would go on the app, they would, an older man would approach them that doesn't know Portuguese. And yeah, that's Floyd. Like, instantly when I read that, I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, that, when I read that, I was like, oh, it's kind of hard to deny that. Then I see those 5 phones. If you guys know, I used to talk about in my older videos with Floyd that, yeah, like, why do you buy a new phone every time we go to a new country? Like, why do you feel the need? Every time we would go to a new country or a new city, he would buy a new phone. In about the course of a year, I knew this dude had like 2 or 3 phones. And so, or even more, I think it was 3 or 4 phones, right? And so that being said, it was just kind of like, you know, maybe I'm connecting. Maybe that was, I don't know, maybe he was trying to just start fresh every time he had did something and just start over. You know, I don't know. So
Redeem Google Play points and score limited edition merch. Go reward yourself. Go play.
Good Night's nighttime underwear for up to 100% leak-free nights. Now in XXL.
I don't know, but I'm making this video to disassociate myself with that. But I'm going to also say this. You guys know I had an issue in Brazil. It was nothing like this, right? I had an issue with them saying that I was hypersexualizing women or encouraging men to come meet women down there or something like that. You know, that's basically what they were saying. But I do remember people just jumping on the opportunity to try to hint at that I was doing something like this. And it's so in Brazil, here's the thing about, and this is why I try to tell people about the United States. Y'all be bitching and complaining about the justice system does not work in the United States. If this happens in the United States, well, first of all, they let pedophiles out. I have no clue why they let them out of jail, but they do. But in the United States, you would have to have like evidence or to be caught in the act. You would have to have concrete evidence or to be caught in the act. In places like Brazil or pretty much anywhere in the developing world that y'all would call second and third world countries, right? They don't need evidence. They just, hey, okay, somebody paid us to come take you to jail. That's it. I'm not saying that's what happened with him, but
wrong. They already said that they found a whole bunch of shit in his they found it on the phone and everything else. They found it. So this is what Austin Holloman does. Whenever he gets in trouble, he throws people under the bus. And I'm glad this guy is not really a part of Passport Bros. I stopped paying attention to him about like a year ago, something like that. And but everybody who he associates with end up in some trouble. J. Rollo, Floyd now. Like, he's a nuisance. He's been a nuisance ever since he showed up in the Passport Bro movement.
There's a possibility. Because you guys remember I told you, whenever I was living in Salvador and that whole thing happened in January, I was already in Thailand and the police were at my house ready to arrest me that I was staying at in Salvador. Okay. Last time I checked, me making a comment online is not an arrestable offense unless if you're in some communist China or some shit. Brazil has freedom of speech too, unless if you're talking about something political, maybe, right? I really don't understand what makes your dick hard for a child, you know, but listen to R. Kelly's music and he'll tell you what he was really talking about once you understand the truth. Riots of them trying to break out of the prison and stuff like this. It's not, I mean, if you have enough common sense, you know that prison in developing countries is not like prison in America, so.
Where is it at? Where is it at? I'm trying to find it.
You're having a party. Get more.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Bible and Fred. So you see the title of the video. Today we're talking about
And his audio is just dog shit. But this guy seems to, he's all over Floyd's videos too, right? And I'm gonna give you a perspective on, like, you see one person who introduced him to the traveling space. Now you're gonna see this guy that was hanging around him. Now, I want to tell you about what black culture is. What black culture really is, right? Black men in general like to get around other men that they can make fun of to make themselves feel good, like the women do, right? So Floyd was the guy that they can make fun of, that they can feel good about themselves. That's why they flew him to Brazil, and they wanted to feel good about themselves. They knew that Floyd was mentally off. They knew that Floyd was not really stable-minded. And they knew Floyd was, how can I put it? A weirdo. They still hanged out with him. And he's gonna say stuff that he's seen overseas instead of telling Floyd to pack his shit up or to get away from it. Or I would do some other shit where, if I knew the language, I would scare him and tell somebody to beat the dog shit out of him so he'd never come back to that country ever again. And tell him every time they see him, take whatever he got or beat the dog shit out of him so he would be scared to come there. They didn't do that. They let him do this. Now they all gotta come out and pretend that they don't know him or they don't mess with him or none of that, right?
Floyd Wallace. All right, a lot of you guys has been hitting me like, bro, are you talking about this topic? Where's the video at? So here's the video. I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but I'm gonna give my take on how things go in Brazil. The latest updates, because apparently there's been some ages released. And we're gonna talk about some somewhat of laws that are very different, but they're real. Now, first and foremost, one thing I am going to say.
Now, look how stupid this shit sound. I think it's a setup. They conveniently use this address, Passport Bros, as a criminal syndicate to all the local news to pick him up. These sock puppets and everything look like a setup. I can be very observant. Oh my God. Now, they said that Passport Bros is a criminal organization. Well, that's going to be bad to do, because if you lock up the wrong people who name themselves Passport Bros, then you're going to get the wrath of Trump. And he already have bad relations with other countries. So that's not going to be a good fucking thing to do, especially when this guy's up there blowing shit up and doing all that. It's not good on your side to do that, right? To go around claiming that a group of men who named themselves something is a bunch of criminals. Because then you're going to arrest the wrong people, and then that's just going to make it even worse on your side.
And I'm going to address, obviously, Americans who live here in Brazil who have nothing better to do than to associate everybody with every fucking thing. What you're doing, bro, is a crime. Okay? Using somebody's image, right, to post alongside somebody else who has these type of allegations is a crime, right? So let me just state that very, 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 very clear. All right, what Floyd did and what he's been accused of has nothing to do with me.
Of course it doesn't. But you hanged out with the dude and you seen all the stuff that he got. This is what happens when you dumb niggas associate yourself with the wrong people and you want to bring that black bullshit culture everywhere you go. Not everybody you can hang out with. because shit like this happens. This is why a lot of people say they don't have a lot of friends, because they don't want to be associated with something. Let me get this point right. If one of your friends rob someone, who you think they're gonna go to you? And they see you hanging out with him the most, they're gonna come to you, and the retaliations are gonna come to you. They're not gonna be like, oh man, he don't have nothing to do with that. No, they're gonna come to you for a reason, because you hang out with the guy.
Right? Has nothing to do with any other YouTuber who's ever made content with him, who's ever...
You should have never made content with him in the fucking first place. He was a whack job weirdo. But for some reason, we're told that people like myself are the socially awkward guys. From what I can see, from what he was, you should have never let him go. And this is why I say it's good to pre-plan shit, or should I say interview people. You should have interviewed this guy before you brung him overseas. Because Floyd, one of the other videos I went down, Floyd said he was going to delete himself. Now, am I saying they should have let him delete himself? A yes and a no. Right? You should have let him be. Because he said he was going to delete himself because he couldn't find nobody. Which was fucking phony and fake, because he couldn't even keep a girl overseas. Right? It's the same thing with Austin Holloman. They just want to fuck anything they want. They don't have limits.
Put him in the fucking street. Right? Floyd's actions is what got Floyd in this position. Right? Allegedly.
If you're an illegal alien, this runway is your future, because you're headed home.
Floyd's actions is what got Floyd in this position. That shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah, we went to the beach together. That shit don't have nothing to do with me. Right? So, I don't have anything to fucking be afraid of. I don't have anything to be worried about, because I don't participate in bullshit like this. Okay? So let's just be very fucking clear. So the people who makes videos that try to dismantle black men who travel, who have just making hate content about men who travel, black men overseas, all right, who have nothing better to do than just make fucking videos trolling people. Look, bro, defamation of character is real, especially if you're in Brazil. It's a crime, bro, which is punishable to be in jail. So for everybody that's talking shit about Floyd in jail, look, bro, especially if you're in Brazil, you should know better. So stop putting people's image with other people's image when we ain't got shit to do with none of the shit that Floyd is accused of. All right, that's number one. Because how the fuck can you sit here and say that an individual is associated with certain crimes when just because they made content together, just because we took Floyd shopping at times, right? Because he didn't have clothes or he threw clothes away. Just because he was at the beach with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's move to the next point, because one thing where I'm still kind of torn between this is not a matter of if it's true or not true. It's just, for me, very fucking difficult to believe. Only because I have my own personal experience with...
See, and this is the bullshit that he's saying. This is hard to believe. And this is the shit that makes everybody seem like, yeah, dude, you condone that shit. You're part of that. You rock with that type of dumb shit. Because how is it hard to believe? If I hanged around somebody like that, I probably would have been like, yo, this guy is sketchy as shit. But the fact is, I have more advanced social skills than a lot of these niggas who run around here and lie like that. Whoa, yeah, I got social skills, man. You guys are losers and lame. Everybody could see Floyd was a loser when he first from the start. His haircut, like, he's not trying to grow his hair out, so why he have his hair like that? Why he got the same shirt on? I mean, I'm not saying you need to go all out crazy with grooming, but there's got certain colognes in Brazil that's cheap, and you can get your hair cut in certain ways. Like, it wasn't hard to groom yourself. Plus, with his facial structure, I don't know. He was better off not looking the way he looked. He looked like he had mental issues in the first place. And then I seen the videos, the jail record videos. Y'all didn't look at that shit. Y'all didn't see the pattern that he was doing. This shit was gonna lead to this eventually. The shit they snapping on people overseas and that. He was either gonna be dead or, well, he's in jail now.
Floyd. And what I mean by my own personal experience, right? So, anytime Floyd was in my presence, I never seen him make comments towards women underage. Never seen him look at children. I've never seen him even interact with women who would scratch your head and make you think like, yeah, she young, bro. Let that shit go. Because they have tendencies, like they have the mannerisms of being a young girl. Right? I've never seen Floyd in the years that I knew him. I've never seen Floyd, so I'm not going to drag Floyd for that because that was my experience with Floyd, right? I never seen him. If anything, I was always on his ass telling him, bro, shorty is like 60 or 50, Floyd. Like, there's girls in their 20s, early 30s that you could be talking to. This girl got a whole head. This woman has a whole head of gray hair, bro. So it was always me telling Floyd, she's old, bro. Like, she's old. And even my ex-wife.
Do your work, do your plan, do it up, do your best. Do it better, do it faster.
And even my ex-wife would be like, does Floyd know that this woman's old? Like, so that's why for me, bro, it was always a matter of,
no, it was because he was a horn dog who was trying to collect sex points in a foreign country. He should have never been traveling. He was trying to stick his dick in anything that he can see. And you could have seen that he didn't have no control. And eventually that shit would have led to, well, what it led to now.
Floyd, you can get a girl in her 20s, bro, or her 30s. Right? And I seen him talk to girls in the 20s and 30s and 40s. Like, because I was sometimes helping him translate the shit with these girls that we met on the beach. So I know that to be true as far as him always interacting with women. Never even crossed my mind that Floyd had interest in children. All right?
See, and this is the thing that dickheads like this don't understand, is that Floyd is a guy who had the taste of sex. Once he had the taste of sex overseas, if he can't get it, he's going to find something else to favor it, right? Either he was a virgin or he was getting the lowest quality of women in America. So now he got access to that. To me, from what it sounds like, someone approached him to make him basically a guy who would do videos with the young apples in order for him to sustain himself in Brazil, because he didn't want to come back. He's broke. He's poor. The crash out funds. I told you this before. The crash out funds pretty much went dry. You can tell that the women who was supplying Floyd and Rollo, they're running out of money. And And guys like J. Rollo and Floyd, they are stuck where they at. Because not a lot of people are now funding their fucking crash housing. Right? So, Floyd had to find something else. And guess what? Some of the most brilliant criminals ever are the people overseas. So somebody approached him and told him he can get paid in pussy and he can get paid in money to sustain himself. But what he probably had to do is do that kid diddler shit. And he said okay. Why? Because he wanted to stay being supplied by in Brazil. He tried to leave, but they already got him. You know the reason why? Everybody who was associated with, guess who? Austin Holloman. They said that they was watching him for 3 years. So, it means that 3 years ago, they was building a case against him. He must have did something over in Brazil while he was hanging out with these fucking fools, this guy, that he did something fucking questionable. And they just kept building it up and somebody kept complaining. Somebody else said they have a documentary on him and the things that he did. And they had interviews with girls who have experience with him. So I'm waiting for that to come out. He was always a weirdo. He had a criminal record over here. Same thing with J. Rollo. You see what happened with J. Rollo when he was beating up a girl and all this other shit? These guys was never supposed to travel. But now, people have to clean this shit up, which nobody's cleaning up. And you just gotta endure it. You gotta let these dudes make 1,000 videos, and hopefully it don't ruin your reputation. You just can't call yourself a passport bro when you travel anymore. And if you're a black man traveling, and if I'm not gonna say that this is gonna hurt a whole bunch of guys traveling and they gonna end up dying and, you know, this and that. Cause by the way, that didn't happen. When these people was making videos on men and calling them pedos and saying that this and they was doing this and they was that, it didn't affect them traveling. But with this situation happening in Brazil, anybody who want to go to Brazil, they're going to have to cancel their trip and let the shit die down. And anybody who go there, they got to watch their backs. Because of this shit. Because of what Floyd did. Because they allowed this dude to come into Brazil. This is why you can't open your doors and your movement to everybody.
Again, because I never saw it. So I'm not gonna throw Floyd under the bus saying, "Oh, bro, when we was at the beach or when we went to the mall." Like, no, bro, no. So that part I will give Floyd grace because that was my experience when Floyd was around, right? Now, is Floyd fucking crazy mentally? Yes. And I even asked Floyd many times. I'm like, bro, have you ever been diagnosed with autism? And the only reason it was a friendly conversation. Like, it wasn't me trying to bully Floyd, because I've interacted and I used to work with autistic children, right? Kids of all different ages. And they have similar traits to what Floyd does. Even to the point to where, like, everybody notices the headphones that Floyd always wears. And that's something that autistic people typically carry because they don't do loud noises. And Floyd used to always carry them at bars, clubs, festivals. I think he went, I want to say he went to a soccer game with us and he had them there too. So anywhere where it's like loud noises, he always had the headphones on. And he would get angry at a drop of a dime, like, because autistic people usually have behaviors and outbursts and things like that. And it just switches. So those things, like, I always knew Floyd had something going on mentally, but I just never knew exactly what it was.
But you kept hanging around him. Once I see him do some crazy shit that's gonna fuck my reputation up, or I can suspect that something's gonna happen, I basically told him, yeah, it's time for you to go. You snapping on people doing this. Either you're gonna take the plane ticket, or you're gonna be stranded here. And basically you're gonna be here forever. Alright? I would have never allowed that shit to happen, go on my watch.
I always had my speculations of it possibly being autism.
When you've got a classic ride,
right? Or it could be something else. But I knew he was not all there mentally, which probably makes sense as to why he never wanted to change his shirt. We tried to make that red t-shirt, even the same damn red t-shirt he was arrested in, all right? We tried to make this red polo t-shirt like a trademark, you know, because at first everybody's cracking jokes on it. Well, at first everybody's like, bro, talking shit about it. Then everybody started cracking jokes about it. And I'm like, at this point, you mean all these beautiful women, right? Let's, like, you got to come up with some type of idea to, like, hell, if people gonna clown you for it, at least put beautiful women in that t-shirt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the business side of, if people gonna talk shit about it, they make money from it, right? Now, there's been some incidences where, like, Floyd has spazzed out on men, right? Like, obviously they don't know the language, and Floyd feel like somebody's getting over on him, and he'll, like, start cussing and going crazy. I'm like, Floyd, it ain't that deep, bro. Just relax.
See? So, this guy crashed out on multiple people in another country, putting your life at risk when you living there, because they speak their language.
Alright? And I've seen him spaz out on females, where it's like, oh, she don't want me, I'm American, this isn't, I got money, blah, 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 blah. So, I've seen both sides.
So, he's going crazy on women because they don't want him. And this is who y'all decided to travel with?
Now, and I have to break it down to Floyd, like, Floyd, you can't move like that, bro. So, I always knew Floyd to be crazy. We all knew Floyd to be crazy or crashing out. He went on a whole crash out tour when he was in Colombia, Thailand, Philippines, and shit, crashing out even more now in Brazil, allegedly. So, everybody knew Floyd.
So, they don't want to throw him under the bus. This motherfucker don't want to throw him under the bus on some weirdo piece of shit type shit. Now, if he's convicted, I know for a fact that this dude is going to take the video down and denounce him, which everybody should have done. Of course, people are going to look at you and see you as a weirdo because you hanged out with him. Now you're making excuses on this guy. And pretending somehow, some way, he's just got a mental illness. For people to feel sorry for him. But then you said he's crashing out. He should have never been overseas. He should have never came overseas. The traveling space wasn't for a Floyd. I'm sorry. Because they're not good. Right? Because they're the ones that end up doing some reckless shit and making everybody there worse. Mind you, the white dudes that go overseas, some of them crash out and take the lives of their girlfriends and friends or whatever, and they take their lives and stuff. So yes, mentally ill people do travel, but they don't travel with any kind of attachment. They don't got a name. Mind you, the white boys can travel without anything going on, and there's plenty of them going to jail for stuff. The guy that killed his Colombian girlfriend, I seen those photos. The one, the Colombian dude who killed the girl, the Mexican girl over in Mexico. Like, it's plenty of like instances that this shit happened, but you know, they don't got the title of passport bro on their name. It's nothing to gain from talking about them.
To be a little bit loose screws, right? But this is some different shit, right? And to be quite honest, bro, I didn't even know Floyd was in Brazil. Nigga, the last time I saw Floyd, I was with my ex, right? Y'all know who that is. I was married the last time I saw Floyd. And I want to say the last time I seen Floyd in person was New Year's 2 years ago.
Meet our TurboTax experts in person and let them do your taxes for you. Now this is taxes.
Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold or Flu Fizzy Chews. Chew Fizz. Feel better fast.
I think it was a year or two ago when we was in Sao Paulo, me and Durag Bay, and we ran into Floyd there. And that was I want to say that was the last time I saw Floyd. Now, as far as like online, I stopped watching Floyd a long time ago when he was not really making content, just making live streams begging for money.
See? So, we understand what he was about, right? You knew what he was about. And y'all pulled the trigger on this crash out who has a jail record from a long time ago. He was doing this shit that he did overseas when he was here, when he was in America. There's actual cop video footage of him getting pepper sprayed and locked up. So it was kind of like you're trying to feel like that he's so mentally, no, he was using this mental bullshit to pretend and play around with people's minds and be like, oh yeah, we feel sorry for Floyd, and you believe it? Like, it's weird that you hear this dude.
And making stories about being robbed and all this shit, and I just knew something wasn't adding up because that's not how Brazil streets work. And it seemed like me. I would have, if you would have told me Floyd got arrested in Brazil for fucking with the police, I would have believed it. I would have believed that shit 10 times over. Right? Or Floyd got into a bar fight for arguing with some Brazilian dudes. I would have believed that shit 10 times over. Or Floyd spazzed out on a female in Brazil, right? Threw a drink on her, slapped her because she said some shit or wild out, right? Because even himself, out of his own mouth, said, "I slapped shit." Like, so.
See? And all these behaviors was red flags, but you thought it was a good idea to continue to hang out with the guy. It's weird. It's weird. This is this nigga shit. Like, all the wrong dudes are traveling, representing everybody, and some of the right dudes end up getting knocked off because they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. And these idiots, some of these idiots, they be here. I mean, they be over there, and they understand that this dude was on some other stuff.
If you told me that, or if I saw that, it wouldn't be a shock. All right? And I think we all can agree. It would not have been a shock. Okay? Because, again, Floyd's temper is like that. If you'd have told me any of those things, bro, I would have believed that shit 10 times over, right? But to hear a rape allegation from Floyd with 4 victims, that's tough to hear, bro, because everybody know what this is right here, all right? By the police, and I hate to see that people are accusing others for Floyd's actions. And I'm gonna just say this too, bro. Like, what one person does affects all of us. Even for the niggas who make content that hate me for whatever fucking reason, who hate Austin, who hate DJP, who hate Skyler, who hate everybody, who hate any black man who travels or lives overseas.
Get more than you thought you could. And keep the party going.
This is the ED. It's time for the faint of heart.
Welcome back. Who else is going to get this place through the 4th of July?
Who hate any black man who travels or lives overseas. All this shit's they're gonna put a big ass fucking blanket, like they've been doing, right? Anytime some shit happens to a black traveler, and it's bad, right? They blanket everybody under this shit, under this umbrella, and say whatever the hell they want to say. They run whatever narrative. They expect everybody to be doing the same shit. Like, bro, one person's actions makes everybody look bad, right? I've been saying that. Even when the motherfucker who died here in Salvador some years ago, who beat up a prostitute because he didn't want to pay, and ended up stabbing somebody in the process, and then apparently jumped to his death trying to escape, which everybody know in the streets. That nigga didn't jump, he just got popped, I believe. Or who knows, bro, who fucking knows? At this point, it don't even matter no more, right? But he was beating up on a prostitute, drugged out his mind, stabbed somebody, and then boom, everybody got blanketed with that shit. So, see, they just out there paying for prostitutes. Like, bro, you do realize there's a lot of people who go overseas who don't even touch prostitutes. You do realize that, right? But again, he was black, he was American, he was in Brazil. Oh, see, they all just out there paying for play. No, there are some people who don't give a fuck to tell you, I pay for play, right? And there's others who don't dabble in that type of shit. In Floyd's case, he was messing with a child, or 4, according to the news.
Oh man, I'm sorry guys. This audio cuts in and out. I don't know what this dude's audio is just dog shit, man. I don't know what kind of money he making, but if he has a phone, let me break it down. He goes into this video, if you look at the whole thing, and he talks about Brazilian culture, right? And he talks about how you can see grown men dating 14, 13-year-olds, and some of the teenagers look like grown women in Brazil, right? And that's how you can get caught up, right? He was trying to like, say he thought that Floyd was in that kind of shit, right? It is legal in Brazil to date a teenager when you're an adult. Even in the Dominican Republic, it's 14 to the parents can consent. I know some families over here who has a grown behind man dating a teenager in some of those places, and the family know about it, right? So that's a different thing, but he'll tell you,
right? Allegedly. So that doesn't mean everybody who made content with Floyd. I know that for a fucking fact. So 16, 17-year-old, right? This individual had a child when I believe she was like 13 or 14. And don't think that Brazilians ain't out here getting down like that, bro. They are. At 14, at 15, at 16, at 17. Bro, they are. Right? And it's legal here. And you'll see, bro, and it's disgusting. Right? It's disgusting. to lay down with a 14-year-old, 15. It's disgusting, bro. Right? It's disgusting. So, because essentially that's still a child. You feel me? They don't know shit from anything yet, even though it's legal. It's nasty. So let me put that out there. And the second thing I want to say to that is okay, let's just say, for instance, a 16-year-old. 99% of y'all on here wouldn't mess with a 15, 16, 17-year-old, right? We can agree with that. In Brazil, bro, you have 15, 16, 17-year-olds that go and buy alcohol because they don't card anywhere, right? They don't card anywhere. So you have 15, 16, 17-year-olds who are buying beer, who are buying liquor at the little corner stores, who got tattoos. I'm talking about shit damn near more than me, right? I'm talking about females and dudes, by the way. Piercings, right? And then physically, when you see them, they have the body structure of a person in their 20s or mid-20s. And I'm talking, you can tell, bro, if you've been in Brazil for any amount of time, you know what the hell I'm talking about. And if you don't if you're not just asking, if you're just walking down the street right now, you see a girl and she's beautiful, she's attractive, she's your type, her body's on point, right?
She's almost done with her master's degree. That's right, we're in a home stretch. Academically, this has been very challenging. When it came to fitting school into my lifestyle,
she's attractive, she's your type, her body's on point, right? And you don't think to ask her age, because obviously, physically, she looks like she's old enough for you to be talking to. And then you go and talk to her, boom, boom, and she says she's 15. You're going to be like, bro, what the? So, it happens, bro. It happens. It's very, very common here, bro. Even I be like, you don't see people like this in the States like that. You don't see, hell, I know guys that are like 15. These niggas like 6'4" and shit. 14, 6'4", 6'5". Like, nigga, what the fuck are you eating? And I'm talking about bigger than me. And I'm just like, bro, there's no fucking way. There's no way you're 13, 14. You're already 6'5", 6'3". You this size. Like, so I don't know, bro. It's a very different thing, bro. It's different. It's not really much to understand, but it happens. In this case, at first, I was just like, okay, if she was 14, 15, maybe she just looked a different way. Still unacceptable, by the way. Still nasty, by the way. But maybe I was kind of like, okay, well, maybe it was an incident like that. He just didn't know, and then it came out after.
So, I'm going to make it as another part. You see one of the dude hang out with him. You saw Austin Holloman, who denounced them and not really fuck with him. And you see this guy trying to make cases for him and be like, oh man, Floyd is mentally ill. But you knew he was mentally ill. You knew that the guy was gonna bring most of you guys down. Like this is what he did. This is what he did. Right? He should have never been traveling. And to me, he was a plant crash out to make the passport bro movement look bad. And you guys gave him the ability and keys to do this shit. Instead of not inviting the wrong people, you should do more vetting like you do women. When you tell niggas to self-improve, I just need a comment about working on themselves. Look, man, there's no society where 20 million, 30 million, 40 million guys work on themselves and they get what they want. You're going to have to supply the men with better women than you have now. If you want every man to self-improve, you're not going to tell them to settle. They all going to be mad, and then it's just going to be a lot worse, and then they're just going to be even madder. So, this is the thing, right? A lot of these guys are in his videos, and they introduced him, and they knew what he was about. Instead of them warning everybody and trying to get his shit shut down, in the back end, trying to stop him from traveling, they let him fester and ruin the name because they just said they don't care. Austin Holloman is a snake. Everybody he introduced to the traveling space, they end up doing some drama shit, just like he did. This guy, he seemed like he's a, I don't know, a Pookie type who went overseas. Because if I go to his videos, right, this is him. Right?
Battery level is 50%.
As you see, the niggas always got to collaborate instead of just stand on their fucking own, right? You collaborate behind the scenes, but you have to take it from the white people to collaborate on camera with the right people. But niggas don't know how to do that. They go to another country and still do nigga shit instead of being a different version of what they are. This is why it stopped me from traveling many different times, because I don't want to run into an American person over there. They think that I'm just like them, and they have the advantage because they know the people there, right? And it'll be a fight between me and them. They have more experience, so I'll lose. I'll even admit that. But if we never run into each other, I'm not collaborating with none of these motherfuckers, man. If you got information, I'm going to pay for the information. The protection, I'm going to pay for it. But I don't want to be seen with these dudes on camera, none of that. Because you don't know what these dudes are into, you don't know what they're about. Guess what? What he's not going to tell you about Brazilian culture is that if you fuck with the wrong people and you're associated with the wrong people, you end up getting killed too. Because there was a Brazilian girl that I showed you. Remember I showed you that Brazilian girl that got killed? That pretty Brazilian girl who baby dad was a drug dealer, and instead of them going, he ran from them and they shot her and killed her. So I'm gonna make a part 2, man.